POA Paper 1 solutions. I'll be doing this in 3 parts. This is part 1.
Question 1. A trader had an opening capital of 3,900. If his drawings were 900 and his closing capital was 4,860, what was his net profit? I want you to think of your balance sheet, and when you do the section financed by, we usually have opening capital, then we add the net profit or we subtract the loss, then we less drawings, and then we'll get to a closing capital. And what was given. So the opening capital given by this question is 3,900. The net profit is what they want us to find. We'll have to add that. Then we have to subtract drawings, which is 900. And that will give us the closing capital that they give us, which is 4,860. Now, to determine this figure here, we would need to add our drawings. 4,860 plus 900 is going to give us 5,760. Then we need to subtract 3,900 from 5,760, and that's going to give us 1,860. So our net profit is going to be 1,860. So the answer is C. Item 2 refers to the following balances at the end of the financial period: motor vehicles, payables, receivables, capital building. What is the total amount for the assets? So the assets here is motor vehicle, receivables. So that's 2,000 plus 2,000 plus 10,000 is going to give me 14,000. So the answer is C. Miss Hoyt, a grocer, bought a computer on credit from Tan Company. In Miss Hoyt's books, which of the following journal entry will be made for this transaction? So she bought a computer, so her computer account is increasing. We're going to have to debit computer account and credit Tan's company. So the answer is D. Question 4. During the year, a company bought stationery for $220 and used $120 worth of it. What figure would be posted to the profit and loss account to represent the expenditure for stationery? So that figure is going to be 120. The accrual concept requires transactions to be recorded in the time period in which they occur, regardless of when the actual cash flows for the transactions are received. So in other words, we need to record how much was used in this period. And that is 120. Question 5. The asset test ratio is also known as the quick ratio. And this ratio shows if the company has enough money, enough cash, or can get enough cash to pay its immediate liabilities, such as its short-term debts. Okay? So this can be indicated by a net current assets less inventory available to pay current liabilities. Question 6. Which of the following items are examples of current liabilities? Example of current liabilities is going to be accounts payable and accrued wages, not mortgage. That is a long-term liability. So the answer is going to be C, 2 and 3 only. Item 7 refers to the following balances from the books of J. Sammy, a sole trader at the end of the financial period. The current ratio of the business rounded to 2 decimal places is, so the question wants us to calculate the current ratio, and to do so, we're going to divide the current liabilities by the current assets. Now first, let's identify the assets given. We have inventory, that's 1,100. We have receivables, which is 500. We have cash, which is 200. So we're going to add that, and we are getting the current assets to be a total of 18,100. Now let's identify the current liabilities. The first one we have is bank overdraft, and it's 400, and then we have payables, which is 700. So when we add that, we are getting a total of 1,100, and to get the ratio we divide, and we are getting to 2 decimal places 1.64 to 1. So the answer is B. Merrill Industries operates on a 40-hour work shift per week. Overtime is paid at time and a half. employees are paid $50 an hour. What is the gross pay of an employee who worked for 49 hours for the week? So let's identify the information that was given. They told us that the rate is $50 and then the overtime rate is calculated at time and a half. Okay, so we can multiply 50 by time and a half, 1.5, and we are going to get the overtime rate to be 75. Now that we know the rate and the overtime, we are going to work out the basic wage, which is going to be 50 by 40 hours per week, and that's going to give us a total of 2,000. And now 9 hours overtime, so it's going to be 9 by the overtime rate. It's going to be 9 by 75, which is going to give us 675. And to work out his gross wage, we simply need to add, and we're going to get the answer to be 2,675. So the answer is D. Question 9. Which of the following accounts are usually transferred to the income statement? Now, in our income statement, the profit and loss, the trading and profit and loss account, commission received, rent, and purchases. Okay, premises is something you put into the balance sheet, as well as drawings, as well as furniture. So the answer is C. Question 10. Which of the following items is or are a capital expenditure? Capital expenditure refers to the use of funds in order to obtain or upgrade physical assets. So an example of a capital expenditure would be the purchase of machinery, which is going to be D. Item 11 refers to the following about the operation of a firm. Provision for doubtful debts on the 1st of January 2020 is 700. Receivables on the 31st of December 2020 is 25,000. The provision for doubtful debts is calculated at a rate of 2% of receivables. What is the amount? What amount will be recorded in the provision for doubtful debts accounts at the end of the year? Now, before I work the question, let me just say that doubtful debts are those debts which the business is unlikely to be able to collect. Also, doubtful debts is a contra asset account that reduces the amount of accounts receivables on the balance sheet. So this allowance for doubtful debts is credited at the end of each period. And what it does is that it reflects the estimated amount of bad debts that is expected to occur. So with that being said, to determine the doubtful debts at the end of the period, we simply need to find 2% of 25,000. And in accounts, you're allowed to use your calculators. So it's going to be 25,000 by 2%. 250 by 2, this is going to give us 500. The answer is going to be C. Credit 500. Number 12, K. Khan, a debtor of A and B Enterprises, settles his debt of 120 less 2.5% discount by check. How should the double entry be recorded in the books of A and B Enterprises? So this business would debit bank $117 and debit discount allowed of $3 and credit K. Khan's account of 120. So this would reflect the double entry that needs to be recorded in A&B Enterprise. Question 13. Partnerships are formed for the purpose of combining capital from different persons. Yeah. Benefiting from different skills and specializations. Sharing ideas, experiences, and responsibilities. So the answer is going to be D. 1, 2, and 3. Question 14. Control accounts are kept in order to assist the management in locating errors, increasing profits, limiting drawings, limiting expenditure. Not B, not C, not D. The answer is A, locating errors. Now, a control account is used to check the arithmetical accuracy of the sales and purchases ledger accounts. It also helps to prevent fraud. So these are some other reasons why a company or a business may use a control account. Question 15. Item 15 and 16 refer to the following statement of financial position, balance sheet, provided for a firm as at the 1st of January 2019. So they want to know what is the sum of money. So they want to know what sum of money is represented by 1. So in order to determine the receivables figure, all we would need to do is to subtract